What's going on, guys? I'm Zed4Me, and today we're going to be talking about things that I always do to any of my new cars. To those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. This is my 2010 Subaru WRX STI wagon. I bought this car not too long ago, and I wanted to share with you guys things that I always do to my new cars whenever I buy them. So some of these tips actually apply to new cars, some of them are only for used cars. But I just want to go over things that I always do to any of new cars that I buy, because the previous owner, you may think that they have done oil changes, you may think that they've done regular maintenance, you just don't really know. So there's always things that you could do to your car in order to kind of give it new life and basically prepare it for a new life of ownership with you. Now, a lot of these things could technically be done in a pre-purchase inspection, but honestly, a lot of us, myself included, don't always bring the car to a certified mechanic in order to get a pre-purchase inspection. I basically look over the car myself, and then, I look under the car, I look throughout the car, and basically I look for the condition of the car, the best that I can actually assess. The first and easy thing that you can do when you get a new car is to give it a nice wash, clean it. Obviously, when you take the time to clean a car, when you take the time to detail a car, you find out all its little imperfections, and that basically gives you a good baseline as to where your car is currently sitting. So if you watch one of my earlier videos, you'll see that I gave this car a very good clean, a very good detail, and from there I learned about all these little dents, these little scratches that for the most part you'll have trouble seeing unless you're actually the person cleaning and detailing the car. So that's kind of the first thing that you want to do. The next thing that you want to do is something that often gets looked over, and that's the windshield wipers. Windshield wipers tend to not get changed until they're at the very last leg of their life, and this car was no exception. The windshield wipers were doing an okay job, but clearly it was time to replace them. So what I did was I went to my local Costco. It only cost $5 for each of these wipers, so it only took $10 to the front of the car and $5 for the back of the car, and that allows me to stay safe on the road. If you guys don't know, here in New York State, windshield wipers are actually part of the safety inspection, so make sure that you get your wipers fixed before you actually take your car to get inspected. The next thing that you want to do is to take a look at the condition of the tires. Now, when you're looking at a used car to buy, you should definitely take a look at the tires to see whether or not you're going to need a new set of tires. A set of tires can be extremely expensive, and so it's really important to check your tires to see if they actually need new ones, and it's also a way for you to actually talk down the price of the car if the car is actually needing new tires. So I took a look at my tires and actually realized that they could use some rotation. They still had some life in them, so it wasn't ready to replace the tires, but I was able to rotate the tires from front to back in order to extend the life of the tires. Now, depending on your car, you might have staggered setup, meaning the front and the rear might be different size wheels, might be different size tires. Here on this STI, all four tires are the same size, and the wheels are all the same size as well. However, my tires are actually unidirectional. You can actually see that based off of the tire, that there's a certain direction of rotation that the tire needs to work, which means that for me, all I have to do in order to rotate my tires is to move the rears to the front and the fronts to the rear, and I'm not allowed to actually do any crisscrossing pattern because that would flip the orientation of the tire. So whenever you're buying a used car, previous owner might be a smoker, previous owner might have owned pets. For whatever reason, the car might not necessarily smell as good as you want it to smell on the inside. That's why with every new car that I buy, I always get a new car scent bomb that I get from Walmart. And basically what you do is you just throw this can into the car with the air conditioner on full blast with recirculating, and you just set it off, and basically what it does is it gives your car a completely new scent. It's not overpowering. All these old odors then are going to be gone, and you don't have to worry about the smell of the previous owner, whether that's smoke, whether that is pets, whether that is just their personal body odor that you really don't like. Either way, using this car refresher really makes a big difference, and while some people might argue that you're not actually getting rid of the odor, all you're doing is masking it, I found that even after a few years of use on my other used cars, the old smell never actually comes back. And so I really trust this product from Meguiar's, and I really highly recommend it. Finally, something that I always do with any new car that I buy is to throw on a dash cam. This can apply to any new car or used car that you buy, but it's really important that you protect your new investment. So this particular dash cam is from Viofo. It's an A119S. It's the new upgraded version compared to the A119 that I've reviewed on this channel, as well as an upgrade from the A118, which will be replacing from this particular car. Now, the A119S offers a smaller field of view. However, it offers better clarity at night, and therefore I think it's the best option right now. There are a lot of dash cam options out there, but this one from Banggood is a really good option. Why? Because first of all, it's a capacitor-based dash cam, which means that you don't really have to worry about it having issues in the high heat or in the winter time, because a capacitor will last for a lot longer than a battery powered version of these dash cams. So that's kind of what you want to look for in a dash cam. You want to make sure that it's capacitor based. You also want to make sure that it's from a reputable company. Viofo is one of those companies who makes the lower end dash cams, and their dash cams are actually very well quality controlled, which means that you know you're getting a quality dash cam. You can look throughout online and you'll see that A119S actually has very good reviews, which is why I'm recommending it to you guys. You can get this particular model on Banggood for a very good price. Just check in the description below for the link. So those were some of the things that I always do to any used car that I buy. I never trust what the previous owner said that they did to the car. I never trust what the service records say, because even if they bring the car to the dealership, even if they bring them to a mechanic and you have receipts of what they've done, unless you could see it for yourself, you just got to believe that it wasn't done, because there are a lot of shady practices out there in the car industry. So if you saw that, service was done for an oil change, and then you take a look at the dipstick and it's only been 50 miles since they changed the oil and the oil is already black, clearly there was something that wasn't done. So, just do your oil changes, do your transmission fluid flushes, brake fluid flushes, coolant flushes. All that stuff should be done anytime you buy a used car, so that you're on a blank slate. You know exactly the condition of the car, and from then forward, you can always keep track of how often you are changing fluids on your car, and you never really have to go based on what the previous owner did with the particular car. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. If you did, please like the video. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Otherwise, I'm Zed from me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.